Opening shot. Cover of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. Voiceover. If you're looking to gain a better understanding of personal finance and wealth building, then Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki is a must-read. In this video, we'll cover the key takeaways from the book and how they can help you think like the rich and achieve financial freedom. Cut to author photo of Robert Kiyosaki. Voiceover. Robert Kiyosaki grew up with two father figures. His biological father, the poor dad, who was highly educated and worked for the government, and his best friend's father, the rich dad, who was an entrepreneur and investor. Kiyosaki's experiences with both men led him to develop a unique perspective on wealth building and financial education. Cut to animated graphic of assets and liabilities. Voiceover. One of the key takeaways from Rich Dad, Poor Dad is that the rich focus on acquiring assets that generate income, while the poor focus on acquiring liabilities that require ongoing expenses. For example, the rich might invest in real estate, stocks, or businesses that produce income, while the poor might take on debt to buy a car or other depreciating assets. Cut to classroom scene. Voiceover. Kiyosaki also emphasizes the importance of financial education. He argues that traditional schooling does not provide enough education about finances, and encourages readers to seek out financial education beyond school. This might involve reading books, attending seminars, or even seeking out a mentor who can provide guidance on wealth building and investing. Cut to graphic of leverage and debt. Voiceover. Another important concept in the book is the difference between leverage and debt. The wealthy use leverage, or borrowed money, to invest in income-generating assets, while the poor use debt to buy liabilities that require ongoing expenses. The rich use leverage to create wealth, while the poor use debt to create financial stress. Cut to animated graphic of cash flow. Voiceover. Cash flow is another important concept in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Kiyosaki argues that building passive income streams through assets is key to achieving financial freedom. He encourages readers to focus on acquiring assets that produce cash flow, such as rental properties, stocks that pay dividends, or businesses that generate income. Cut to graphic of the 4 quadrants. Voiceover. Kiyosaki also discusses the importance of understanding the 4 quadrants of income: employees, self-employed, business owners, and investors. He argues that the wealthy tend to operate in the business owner and investor quadrants, while the poor tend to operate in the employee and self-employed quadrants. By moving into the business owner and investor quadrants, individuals can gain greater control over their finances and build wealth more effectively. Cut to animated graphic of mindset. Voiceover. Finally, Rich Dad, Poor Dad emphasizes the importance of mindset when it comes to wealth building. Kiyosaki argues that the rich think differently than the poor, and that changing one's mindset is key to achieving financial success. The rich think long-term, focus on building assets and cash flow, and are willing to take calculated risks. The poor tend to think short-term, focus on expenses and liabilities, and are risk-averse. Closing shot. Cover of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. Voiceover. Overall, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a motivational and educational book that encourages readers to adopt a different mindset about money and take action to build their own wealth. By focusing on acquiring assets that generate income, seeking out financial education, and changing their mindset about money,